Are you thinking of leaving the country? Why? Well, there is increase in migration throughout the world. Okay, even in United States, citizens are moving to Europe due to Trump administration policies, high healthcare cost, living cost, etc. So, what it takes to leave from home country to another foreign country? What are the challenges involved? These are the key things we're going to discuss here. Now, do you think moving out is easy? Actually, it's actually very hard. Okay, but from a home country, it's very hard to believe it. It is complicated. Okay, we'll see in the following slide. So, where are you going? So, if you're going to one of these English-speaking countries, well, your migration will be easy if you fall under one of these category. Okay, otherwise not. Now, staying abroad possibilities. First one is temporary residency, mainly called work visas. There are other types also: work visa, investor visa, digital nomad, student visa, family reunion visa, and like that it goes on up to independent means visa, things like that. So, I encourage you to go through these points so that you are aware, and depending upon the country you are moving to, there will be a delay of months, even years. Sometimes they reject you also, but there is bureaucracy. Okay, so I encourage you to go through this. The next type is permanent residency. Okay, in permanent residency, as the word shows, your residency is permanent. You rarely get permanent visa at first. Okay, you first have to go through the temporary visa first, then you meet all the requirements throughout a period of 1 to 5 years. All these things you need to meet, then you apply for permanent residency. Okay, the next one is citizenship. This is the last stage of your residency, where you get what you call a passport. Okay, and you get all the rights and rights as well as responsibilities as a citizen of that foreign country. Okay, however, some countries does not equate you to the citizens born and brought up there. Okay, you are called naturalized citizens. They don't be treated exactly like those citizens born and brought up there. That's in some countries. Okay, and the next one, fourth type, is citizenship by descent. Okay, so as the picture clearly shows, you can apply for citizenship based on your parents' citizenship in the foreign country, and the examples are India, Ireland, Italy, and each country has its own rules. Okay, go through this and be aware of it. The good thing is that the language proficiency is not there. Okay, under this category of application. And fifth one is in countries like Caribbean countries. Okay, it has fast track citizenships. You can get it less than in a year. Okay, but money is involved, and also these countries are under the heavier risk of hurricane. Okay, these are the countries. And the sixth one is staying illegally, which you don't want to do it. The easy part is there is no paperwork, but there will be unpleasant consequences if you are caught, and be aware of all these high risk involved, including jail. Okay, now should you do it is a question. Should you do it? Well, it's not a simple decision. Okay, it is not a simple decision of doing some paperwork and buying an airline ticket. There are challenges involved. Okay, what happens here is, in your brain, one side thinks about beautiful imagination of the foreign country, and that's shut down your other side of the brain, which refuse to see the challenges in the new country. Okay, and that is foolishness. So I am going to help you understand the challenges here and plan for it, do the research and everything. Then once you are there, you are aware of the challenges, you will be able to overcome it. Now, what are the challenges moving to a new country? Okay, the first thing is language. Language is a very big barrier, and if you are going to an English speaking country, which is hardly 6 countries, other than that, if you go to any other country in the suburb area, absolutely no one speaks English. Okay, so if you are in a place where people speak non-English, well, you have very hard time. Okay, you will have difficulty in all these basic life areas. Okay, basic things. Okay, that you do in an everyday basis, you will have great difficulty. And you even the foreign language basics, it's a struggle to get it. Okay, and Google Translate or any language app is not going to help you to that's a reality. Okay, so what you should do is you should get skills in language of that foreign country to live there to some extent. Okay, all these skills are required. Well, you may think you may able to speak asking for a direction, but other than that, you will have great difficulty dealing with any other aspects of life in that foreign country which speaks foreign language. So no language also means you are extremely isolated. Okay, so you look at this picture. This is a washing machine control knob, and this is how it looks like if you are in a foreign country which does not speak English. Okay, so let's move on. The next thing with next challenge is homesickness and cultural shock, and this is a real thing, and most of us are aware of it. We move out of state and things like that, but you will definitely miss all these aspects. Okay, and in every country these aspects are totally different. Okay, so the more the cultural different, more the shock will be. Okay, so prepare for it. And next thing is food and diet. Now the foreign food obviously will not agree with you because your digestive system is tuned to your home country's food, and even in the market things are different. You don't get what you need and things like that. Okay, so there are countries which has high spicy and different types of food, and there are countries which ban food also, so it's crazy, so be aware of it. Fourth one is loneliness. Okay, now for that the loneliness happens because of the language and cultural barriers, and so for you, what you should do is take a language class. Okay, join a club of your interest and try to get to know local people of similar interest. But even then you are outsider, because for those locals they already have friends and family, so it is still a challenge, but you can overcome to some extent. The next one is work and money. This is one of the another greatest challenge. Money is everything, so you should be either having a retirement income or a large investment kind of thing where you are you are independent on income. Otherwise you have to get a local legal work to earn money, and finding abroad work is challenging because these two things are critical. Okay, and you also have to be aware of all these aspects with respect to foreign work. Okay, it's a very serious area. You should do your research properly, otherwise you will be in deep trouble. Sixth one is buying property. At some point, if you want to buy property, make sure you go through all these key points, otherwise you will run into nightmares, because there are huge bargain offers which are fraud things. And also if you are buying a property, make sure you do these steps so that you don't run into trouble. Okay, now you also need all these things before you buying a property. Okay, so if you are wealthy, if you are wealthy, a good part of buying a property or investment in a foreign country is they will get you a visa easily. Okay. Seventh one, healthcare. Healthcare is another tricky and expensive area when you move to a new country, and rules vary from country to country. For those resident visa people, you may not get state healthcare programs. Okay, and US is worst when it comes to healthcare expenses. There is anti-immigration sentiments going on. Okay, and also there is dictatorship kind of thing happening. It's on a rise nearly everywhere. Okay, so there is blame game going on against immigrants. There is dislike against people from other countries, and there is slogans like French first, French first, America is for Americans, things like that. So be aware of all these things when you choose where you want to migrate to. Okay, it's only these kinds of sentiments are going to be on a rise due to various reasons like this. Okay, so you don't want to be part of that. So you have to be very careful when you decide on the country. Okay, and this graph clearly shows you how Europe thinks, how some part of the Europe thinks about immigrants. Racism is very much still there, even in 21st century, even in developed countries. So it happens throughout Europe, Asia, Africa, US, everywhere. So there is even Japan, which is so polite in behavior, but they don't like non-Japanese. You don't notice when you just visit, but you will clearly see it once you are there, once you start living there. Okay, so be aware of this. Racism is not just limited to work or neighborhood, it's also there very much in schools. Okay, so your children should be also prepared for. The next one is accessibility. This thing is applicable to those who are older and migrating to Europe and things like that. Be aware of these things mentioned here, because except US, which is actually newer compared to Europe. Europe is pretty old, so these buildings are built centuries ago, even before elevators were invented. So be aware of all these risks involved when you buy a property there, or you not even property. You can't even you can't even hire an apartment where an aged person or a person who needs accessibility things can't even use it. So be aware of these risks, especially if you are someone older or you need wheelchair or things like that. Climate change is a reality. Okay, so when you choose your country, calculate the risk involved in your destination. Okay, it's happening everywhere. No country is safe with respect to climate change, but some are comparatively better. That's all. So, cost of migration. The cost of migration is actually expensive more than you think. Okay, I have put in here many hidden expenses here. Make sure you go through this. There is definitely cost. You should budget it triple or double the amount. Okay, make sure you touch on all these points when you plan things. So the takeaway, what am I saying here? I'm only saying here that be aware of the challenges. Okay, and you should go if you like that foreign country. Sure, why not? But it's more than a dream. There are challenges there. So you just plan it, do the research, be careful, things like that. Next thing is conclusion. So every place, like I mentioned here, every place has its own problems. Okay, some are worse than your own country. Okay, and when things go wrong, you don't want to be a foreigner in that country. Okay, because you will be the last person to get government help being a foreigner, and you will be the first person in the line to get all the blame from the local people. You don't want to be in that position. And as far as democracy is concerned, there is end of democracy that can happen anywhere in the world. Okay, so if you are a native person, it's very hard to throw you out. But if you are a foreigner, they can throw you out. Okay. So it's very important that you get close to local culture, so that when sentiments turn against you, you will come to know much before and you can prepare for it. Okay, be aware, no matter how many decades you lived in a foreign country, as foreigner you will be always a foreigner. Okay, so other than that, please plan, do the research, go to the country you love. Bon voyage to you and your family. Now please support the channel if you got something out of this discussion. I appreciate it if you could share and support the channel. Alright, now this is a disclaimer. Thank you so much. You take care, my friend.